affairs at the local level. So legislation and most of the policies would be most effective at the local level in his understanding. So that's where the kind of structure he suggests for an ideal political order. So he would suggest that it has to be seen in a way where individual is at the center, but the structure has to be seen in the form of an oceanic wave, rather than a structure which exists in a hierarchical manner. So individual is at the center, and different layers exist around him, and they remain at the periphery. So individual is at the center, and other structures, they simply remain at the periphery to serve the interest of the individual. So that is how he understood that the society would inculcate and promote the larger values wherein individual can enjoy his freedom. Individual can enjoy his liberty. So the first structure in that respect, JP suggests that has to be known as primitive community. And this primitive community is to be equated with or to be understood as village level structure, right? So that is where this would mean that the self-governing village community would be the most important element, would be the most important organization in the whole structure. Now, JP would understand that at this level every decision has to be taken. So most of the policy decisions related to economy, related to defense, related to industry, related to economy, all of these decisions have to be taken at this level. So the village level community is the most important element, and it is a self-governing and self-sufficient community. Now, in this respect, JP was also to some extent critical of the mass industrialization and the large-scale industrialization, that was happening in most part of the world. And this is what he understood, that possibly had made the centralization of power a necessity, because large-level industrialization would mean that economy had to be managed on a greater region, on a greater plane. So that is why a centralized power would be necessary. So to the extent possible, economy may be simple, industrialization may remain, but most economic decisions, what may pertain to the economic interests of the people, they have to be taken at the local level. So that's where he would emphasize that the most important policy decisions have to be taken at the local level. And that's what he calls as a primitive community, right? Community which is composed of the self-governing people who are part of the village. So self-governing village is something which is important. And why JP would emphasize the importance of this particular element in the whole idea of community democracy. That also had to do with his idea of organic structure of the society. That's why possibly he had called it as a primitive community, right? Primitive community, community not in a sense that was prehistorical, right? Prehistorical in terms of its existence, prehistorical in terms of its organization or in terms of its attitude and perception, right? Primitive community primarily because the kind of cohesiveness and the kind of interdependence which was the hallmark and value of the primitive community, this is what JP wanted to emphasize. And that's why he calls it a primitive community. So that is one, right? That is one we have to keep in mind. So next he says that a group or cluster of these groups, which would be known as self-governing village communities, that's what would constitute the next horizontal layer. See, as I told you, please keep in mind that when JP envisages that this kind of a structure would be important or would serve the purpose of liberty or freedom of individuals, he does not see them in a hierarchical manner. So the order is not hierarchical, right? So that is where that's why the term I have used is horizontal layer, right? So that is where the next layer in JP's understanding would be a group of such villages, a group of these self-governing villages, and that's what he calls as the group of villages or regional communities, right? Regional communities. So a group of villages which are self-governing, if they come together, that's what would constitute the next layer. So regional communities. And again, I will come to the aspect that how JP understands that all these different layers would be governed because the emphasis would be on governance rather than on government. So that is the point that we will discuss. But when a group of such regional communities, they come together, that is where in JP's understanding the district level community would come into place. So district community would be the next layer in the whole structure of governance as part of the communitarian democracy. Now then successive layers would be when a group of district communities, they come together. Then you have the provincial community, and when the group of provinces, they come together, then you have what JP calls as national parliament, right? Now JP of course goes beyond that, and he conceives that eventually the larger objective of world community too can be achieved when people would rise above their selfish interests and would give importance to individual freedom and individual liberty. But that is something which may happen only at a later stage. But in JP's understanding, when one looked at India, then that's where one has to confine and one has to concern oneself with the national level parliament. But how then governance would take place? That's what the issue would be, because this is something a kind of structure. This is something a kind of structure that JP suggests, and this structure is not in a hierarchical order where the lower levels are controlled and directed by the higher levels, rather than the lowest level is the most important level in JP's understanding. And there is no direction and control, rather than there is coordination, right? And what JP understands that when one looks at the self-governing village communities, then every adult member would be the member of what he calls as Gram Sabha. So this is what would be the governing structure at the level of village, and most of the decisions would be taken by consensus in this Gram Sabha. So every aspect pertaining to the governance of the village would happen through the means of consensus. But there may be occasions when this consensus may not work. There may be differences. So that is where JP suggests that under those circumstances, under those situations, the decision may be taken by the means of lottery system, right? So that is something people may do at the level of the villages, and that is where they can decide. That is where they can decide matters pertaining to their lives, in villages, right? Pertaining to their lives in villages. So then, next layer is the regional communities, but members to the regional communities in JP's understanding would be elected indirectly by the members of Gram Sabha. So there, of course, would not be any direct election to the members of the regional community. Now, then one thing is very clear, that there is, of course, no requirement of any organized political parties, because in JP's understanding, the moment political participation happens through the means of political parties, then political parties, they become more interested in political power, and wherein they would be pursuing their interest as a group, they would be pursuing their interest as an organization. Now, this is what JP did not want, and that's where in his whole scheme he would suggest partyless democracy. So, of course, there is no role of political parties. Every adult member is a member of Gram Sabha at the lowest level who participates in all the decisions which would concern the lives of the people of the village. And successive stages would be composed of the institutions to which membership would be drawn through the means of indirect